Hi, I'm Lauren Westwood. Welcome to my vlog, which is a busy person's guide to how to write, structure, and edit a novel. I'm the author of 4 published women's fiction novels published by Aria, and I also write for children. So I'm going to talk for roughly about 5 minutes on some of the basics of novel writing. This will hopefully be helpful for anyone who already has a plan for a novel or who wants to participate in NaNoWriMo, which is coming right up. So today's topic is putting the basic idea for your novel down on paper. They say that everyone has an idea for a book in them, and maybe that's true. However, not everyone gets that idea down on paper or actually gets to write their novel. So this is the goal for today's exercise. It's to get your basic idea down on paper. You can do this in a few sentences or a paragraph or a mind map, whatever works for you. I generally try to capture my initial idea in the paragraph. When I start out thinking about the basic idea for a novel, I try to capture 4 basic elements: concept, character, problem, and resolution. Now, I write women's fiction novels, so that's what I'm going to draw on as examples. But in general, the same elements do apply across different genres. So first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about concept. This is the overall idea from the book, and it can usually be expressed in as little as 1 to 3 sentences. So for example, if I was going to use my first book, Finding Home, as an example, it would be something like a heroine gets a job as an estate agent, falls in love with a derelict mansion that she's supposed to be selling, and meets the handsome hero who wants to turn it into a golf course. So this concept actually contains at least 2 of the other elements that I generally set out to capture. Character, so we know that we're dealing with a heroine, and there's a hint of at least one problem, a derelict mansion and a troublesome hero. So in most commercial fiction, you'll have at least one main character whose story, from whose point of view the story is told from. And sometimes you'll have more than one. Generally probably good to start out with one. And I'm going to do a more detailed post on character and look at this in more depth. But right now we're just trying to get the basic idea down on paper. So the one key element that your main character must have is a goal. So whether or not she wants to open a chocolate shop or solve a mystery or fix up a derelict mansion, there has to be something at the beginning of the book that your character really wants. And this gives he or she the scope to embark on a journey to try to meet that goal and change throughout the course of the book, which is really what you want. You want your main character to develop. So the next element that we're going to address just briefly in our little outline is problem. So if the character has a clear goal, then it's your job as a writer to keep introducing problems that keep him or her from reaching it. So in Finding Home, which we discussed briefly before, the handsome hero has a goal that conflicts with that of Amy, the heroine. So it's this conflict between them and their 2 different goals that cause the sparks to fly. So one thing to remember when you're writing is that you can love your characters and they can be like your best friend, but don't be too nice. You got to keep introducing problems for them to solve, and that's what makes it interesting. The final element is resolution. Now obviously this will be fleshed out as you write, but at the planning stage, it's a good idea to have a general idea of what kind of resolution you want. Is it going to be happily ever after? Are you going to have a cliffhanger? Or will it be a sort of more literary, real-life, unhappy type ending? And having a general idea of this will set the tone for your book. So you can find examples of idea paragraphs. You know, every time you look at the blurb on the back of a book or if you read the description of a book on Amazon. So the basic information that we just talked about is set out, hopefully minus the spoilers. So this is the kind of completed idea for finding home, which you would find on Amazon, okay? So a month ago, Amy Wood had her perfect home, her perfect boyfriend, and her perfect job in London. Now she's broken-hearted, living in her parents' tiny bungalow and working at a local estate agent's in Bath. At least her new job keeps her busy. Rosemont Hall is a crumbling mansion riddled with woodworm, dry rot, and secrets. So as Amy searches for the perfect owner to restore the house to its former glory, she begins to uncover pieces of the past that some people would rather remain hidden. In her battle to save Rosemont Hall, Amy will encounter scary housekeepers, evil property developers, and mysterious American heirs, and will discover whether the secrets of the past will bring her closer to the future of her dreams, or will it lead to disaster. So that's the general blurb for Finding Home. And now you may well not know this much detail up front, and I will say that this was written after the book was published, and certainly when I set out, I wouldn't have had something that sort of concise. But remember, our goal at the beginning, before we set out, is just to write out a few sentences setting out the basic information: concept, character, problem, and resolution. So we're going to go through each element in much more detail, but for now, good luck, and if you're doing NaNoWriMo, please do let me know if you have any questions, and if you could leave a comment or share this video, I'd really appreciate it. My next post is on character, so thanks for watching.